Hello, my name is Howard Gardner, and I am so excited to introduce to you the theory that can change classrooms all over the world. As many of you know, I'm running in this year's election for Theorist of the Year. You may have heard the word multiple intelligences theory, but do you really know what that means? Well, today I'm here to tell you everything you need to know, and I hope to see you at the polls. First, let me formally introduce myself. My name is Howard Gardner, and I am an American developmental psychologist. Around 1938, years before I was born, my parents fled from Nuremberg, Germany, due to the World War II. This led to my birth here in America in Scranton, Pennsylvania on July 11, 1943. When it was time for me to go to school, I refused to attend the school that my parents wanted me to attend, called Phillips Academy School, and I chose to attend a preparatory school in Kingston, Pennsylvania. After that, I went to Harvard University to become a lawyer. However, during my time there, I studied under psychoanalyst Erik Erikson, who I felt really encouraged me to become a scholar. My interest in researching how human nature worked and how humans think grew throughout college. I then graduated summa cum laude in 1965. So after I graduated, I went to work under Jerome Bruner on a project entitled MACOS, which stood for Man, a Course of Study. During this time with him, I really focused on studying the works of Jean Piaget and Claude Lévi-Strauss. My interests continued to grow, so I went back to Harvard and entered into the doctoral program in 1966. 1 year after beginning school again, I became part of a research team for Project Zero, which I am still involved in today. This research focuses on arts education. I finally finished obtaining my PhD in 1971 and stayed at Harvard to become a lecturer. By 1986, I was hired on as a professor in the education department. My first major book, The Shattered Mind, was published in 1975, and later, in 1983, my book, Frames of Mind, first mentioned my theory of multiple intelligences. Rewinding a couple years, I met my beautiful wife, Ellen Winter, and we got married in 1982. Fun fact, she is also a professor of psychology. Together we have one son, Benjamin, and 3 children from an earlier marriage, Kareth, Jay, and Andrew. I'm also excited to say that I am listed as the Hobbs Professor of Cognition and Education at the Harvard Graduate School of Education. And I'm also teaching at the Boston University School of Medicine in the Neurology Department as well. Okay. Enough about myself. Let's talk about what's really important, shall we? The multiple intelligences theory consists of 7 to 9 different intelligences that are affected by culture, biology, and other various factors. In my opinion, intelligence is the capacity to solve problems or to fashion products that are valued in one or more cultural setting. Each intelligence had a prerequisite for the title of intelligence, which was having the ability to resolve genuine problems or difficulties within cultural settings. Therefore, the intelligences that I felt met this criteria were linguistic, musical, spatial, logical mathematical, bodily kinesthetic, interpersonal, and intrapersonal, and also naturalist. These intelligences rarely operate independently as one intelligence. They tend to work together at the same time to solve problems. Okay, now that we have covered the basics, let's take a closer look at each intelligence. The linguistic intelligence I like to call word smart. People with this intelligence have the ability to learn and effectively use language to accomplish goals. My occupations for people who have a high linguistic intelligence are writers, poets, lawyers, and public speakers. Next, logical mathematical I refer to as logic smart. This intelligence is used for analyzing problems, performing math operations, and thinking about matters scientifically. I believe these people have the ability to detect patterns, reason deductively, and think logically. Naturalists are people who can recognize and classify various species of the environment, and I call them nature smart. The people who can recognize patterns in both wide and small species, or spaces, are called the spatial intelligence, which is referred to as being picture smart. Next, my bodily kinesthetic learners are known for being body smart. They can utilize the body or parts of the body to solve problems, as well as during physical and mental activities. Musical intelligence, or being music smart, is where people perform, compose, and welcome musical patterns. Interpersonal means being people smart. The intelligence is where people are concerned about what others are motivated by, what they desire, and what their intentions are. Most jobs related to this intelligence would be educators, salespeople, religious and political leaders, and counselors. Lastly, the intrapersonal intelligence is known for being self-smart. This is where people try to understand their character and think about their feelings, fears, and motivations. Let's talk about how this might affect or be useful in a classroom. Schools, classrooms, and teachers are adopting methods from the multiple intelligences theory all around the world to structure the school curriculum because it creates a more student-centered environment and a well-rounded curriculum. Once the teacher assesses the students and finds out which intelligence they do well, they can help their students be successful in the classroom. Some examples might be students who have the linguistic intelligence typically love reading, writing, telling stories, and playing word games, whereas students who have the bodily kinesthetic intelligence would like the use of manipulatives, playing games, using the body to answer questions, and theater. Some teachers may say that utilizing this theory in a classroom means that they will have to spend more time planning, more money on materials. However, I see this as a pro, because the lessons will be more thought out and be more detailed. Some teachers may think that it takes too much time to assess students, which intelligence best suits them. But I think it helps the classroom to be more student-centered and that students will have a better chance at being successful. This theory provides more thought, detail, and is individually based on what students need in order to be successful. In my opinion, I believe anything that is worth teaching can be presented in many different ways. These multiple ways can make use of our multiple intelligences. With all of that being said, I hope you think of how you can better your classroom when voting at the polls, and I hope that vote will be for me. Thank you.